This is a product video for Avery Dennison on wall film install protocol. It is important to understand all aspects involved in wrapping walls, from surface types, material choice, proper prep, and install tips in order to get professional, durable results. There are essentially two types of walls. One is smooth and it can be unpainted and painted. The second is textured and it can be painted or unpainted. For wrapping film, there are three types of material from Avery Dennison to choose from. One is calendar. It's for short to medium life applications and for smooth walls. The second is cast and is for medium to long life applications and it can be applied to textured and painted cinder block walls. And the third is polyurethane and it can be applied to medium to long life applications that can be textured or unpainted brick and stucco. And here are the corresponding Avery Dennison product numbers that relate to the three different types of film. For calendars, the 2000 series and the HP 750 cut vinyl film. For cast, it's the 1000 series and the Supercast 950 cut vinyl. And the third is polyurethane, and it's the MPI 1405 and the DOL 6460 lamination. The first step before choosing the type of wrap film to be installed is to do an adhesion test. Clean a section of the wall that is to be applied, then adhere different types of Avery Dennison wall films to that area. Use firm overlapping squeegee strokes. Be sure to use a variety of different Avery Dennison wall films to get the best option. Let it sit for 24 hours. It may be clearly visible which adhesion is lowest, but it's best judged on how it removes from the wall. If it comes off easily, it is not a good choice. If it comes off with steady resistance, then it is a good candidate. What is also important to consider are the types of paint on the wall. For a clear explanation of all types of paint, reference this product bulletin on the Avery Dennison website. And note that it is also important to avoid flat or matte finishes as they may cause the adhesive not to properly bond. Avery Dennison suggests that in order to receive support for warranty issues, the production department should document the lot number and the install team, the application date, and install conditions. For prep on smooth walls, small holes do not have to be filled in, but large holes should be patched, primed, and painted. Be sure to use products that have a short outgassing time. The installer should remove any raised objects like outlet covers. Next, scrape the wall with a plastic spackle blade in order to remove large specks of dirt that are in the paint. Then, wipe the wall down with a microfiber towel and 70% isopropyl alcohol. Be sure to wipe the entire wall down with an extra focus on the edges. For prep on textured walls, it's recommended to power wash them 24 hours before the install, and right before the install, make a dry wipe with plastic bristles. Avoid spraying any moisture on the wall. With the surface prepped for smooth surfaces, lay the graphics out to make sure they fit, left to right and top to bottom. Next, set the panel in place using a temporary hinge. This can be with masking tape, magnets, or half-circle backing paper tears. Double check the panel position, then use a level to make sure that the panel is perfectly straight. When removing the film from the liner, be sure that both are flat to the wall to minimize tension on the temporary hinge. Cut the backing paper in half-circle shape, then fold it behind the panel for an easy release on the bottom section. Make a permanent hinge with a squeegee stroke from side to side using a wall squeegee like the bill collector. Be sure to apply the film with firm overlapping squeegee strokes from side to side. Note that if the wrapping film has a smooth matte or gloss finish, the panels will adhere strongly to each other and the overlap should be 1 inch wide. For textured wrap film from Avery Dennison, such as MPI 2630, the overlaps should also be 1 inch wide, but the protocol for prepping the base layer for the overlap is much different. Option number 1 for MPI 2630 films is to mark the edge of the top panel, where the overlap will go, with masking tape from top to bottom. Then, using thin, high-tack banner tape, apply a strip of it to the bottom panel, making sure the edge of the banner tape matches the edge of the bottom panel, and do it from top to bottom. It is very important that the installer leaves the top liner on the banner tape. The top panel should then be applied in a standard manner, including over the banner tape. During this process, the installer should be sure that the top panel lines up over the edge of the banner tape. With the top panel applied, remove the top liner of the banner tape and squeegee the top panel over the exposed adhesive immediately. Work evenly from top to bottom. The second option for creating a secure overlap for MPI 2630 textured wall films is to mark the edge of the top panel with a run of masking tape on the bottom panel from top to bottom. Then, using a foam applicator, apply a coat of adhesive promoter on the bottom panel next to the masking tape. Note that this will remove the ink from the bottom layer in most cases. The bottom layer should then be dried with a heat gun on medium setting. Once the bottom panel is dry, the top panel can be applied as normal, with the installer being extra careful to pick the area up over the overlap section. For install tips for Avery Dennison film that is going to be applied to textured surfaces, whether painted or unpainted, the entire backing paper should be removed since the surface energy of the wall is very low. Hand set the panel in place and, if it's windy outside, do a quick heat and roll over the exposed area so it sets in place. Release the liner of any corresponding panels, then repeat the same process. Hand set, heat and roll if necessary, then it's time to apply and heat set the film. The Avery Dennison wrapping film should then be applied using high heat and a roller. Be sure to go at a slow, steady pace and overlap the rolls in order to get 100% coverage. The installer should see a tight seal on the textured surface behind the roll. This means that the heat and pace of the roll and heat is sufficient. For post-install on either smooth or textured wall installs, the installer should go over the overlaps with heat using an application glove or squeegee. If it's MPI 2630 textured wall film, then using heat with a roller will get the best results. Next, heat and double squeegee all edges to ensure long-term durability and reinstall all hardware safely so the graphics don't get damaged. For more information on Avery Dennison wall films and to download the dedicated product bulletin, you can go to this URL. You can also go to Avery Dennison's YouTube page to see specific install videos for other wrapping films. This has been a product video on Avery Dennison's wall film install protocol, proudly produced by the Wrap Institute.